Let's get started for today's weekly town hall meeting, February 13th, 2023. Today's agenda, projects and development updates, marketing and content updates, collaborations, Q&A. Robinson, please start us off with project and development updates.
Thank you, Kelly. So our DORA metrics are the engineering metrics. As usual, we have the four metrics that which we track to uh, assess our engineering performance or the output. The first one we have on the screen, we have the speed or the change lead time, and so we have a constant improvement for the last few weeks. So in the last week, as per the last week's trend, the time for any release is around 34 days, and it looks like there is a downward trend. Means we're making improvements. Means we'll be able to complete. We're able to, or we are improving our development speed as per this trend. So that's looking good. Let's move on to the next slide. Deployments. So this item tracks the number of production deployments that we've done. So we have a, I think, phenomenally large number compared to our last 6 months of performance. So we had 3 deployments for Next. So I think that's a major contributor. And then we have successfully completed the Python Peerplays deployment or release. So we had a release for that, and also the Peerplays blockchain release. So the last week, so if you take the last week itself, so this report is for over a period of 2 weeks. So if you take last week's report alone, we made 3 releases over a period of 1 week. So that's pretty impressive progress card for us. So, okay, let's move on to the next slide. Throughput or the number of PRs. So this is kind of showing a downward trend. We had 18 PRs per week during the beginning of the month, or around Jan 30th. But now this is decreased to around 14 per week. That's an area we need to improve, if at all we need to improve any further. And let's move to the next slide for the quality metrics. So the quality metric, we have a failure rate of 20 against production deployments. Now this comes from this particular report comes from one hotfix 0.52 against Next. So that's why this we have a failure rate of 20%. Overall, I think the engineering metrics looks good, and the number of releases are also on the historical high since we started tracking for the last 6 or 7 months. This has been the last week was the most productive week for us. So that's good job, everyone. Thank you. Let's move on to the next slide for individual product updates. Excuse me. So the biggest update is that we've been working towards a blockchain alpha release, which is a massive update with changes to Suns, introduction of Ethereum Suns, etc. So we've completed this over the weekend. So we have a release 1.5.21, and we have planned for a cross-team initiative where we will be verifying this blockchain release. And there's like, apart from the QA, the blockchain QA, other teams also will be involved in verifying this massive release. So I have a diagram with the plan. So in the next 3 to 4 weeks, we'll be verifying the current release. Then we'll be verifying various important tools, starting with the faucet and the Python libraries, and that's going to be the first step. And beyond that, we'll be verifying the JS and the next. And we're also planning to deploy automated test suite against this particular release. So the idea is that going forward, we'll have those test suite running against the blockchain MRs. So that initiative also we kickstarting that initiative also. And around week 4, we will try to verify all the new Sun integrations with production mainnets of sidechains, the sidechains that we are supporting. That will be the final step before verifying the entirety of this release. So we have around 7 months of development under testing and verification right now, and we are aiming for a release to the mainnet, major artwork release sometime in March. So that will depend on, it will be, the exact date will be depending upon the successful completion of these steps. So that's a major update from our team on the blockchain side. Moving on to the next. So we have kind of a final predecessor to our production general availability release for next, which is happening tomorrow. So we have this version 0.60 deployed for verification. The major improvement in this release is the enhanced market pages. So we have brought in the trade view screens to our market screens. And apart from that, we are also working on various responsive and compatibility issues as well. So we have this big release happening scheduled for tomorrow. So far everything is looking good for the next release. So that's next. Yeah, let's move on to the next slide. The last update from our team is update to the Python library. So we have been verifying the upgrades and new features for a while. So last week we managed to publish this to PyPy, and which is the repository from which normally Python libraries are downloaded. And the version is the latest version is 0.50. And the first product that we are verifying against this release is Faucet, and that work is in progress right now. So that's a major update from the development team. Thank you.
Thank you, Robinson. Michael, marketing and content updates, please.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone, wherever you are. Happy Monday. I just wanted to confirm with the team and the community that all of our performance assessment meetings have been scheduled with the team. You can find all of our performance trackers in the shared folder. I know that the team is excited to start a process of continuous improvement to our processes on the marketing side. So we're looking forward to those sessions beginning today and going through this week. I wanted to provide some positive numbers on the Google ad campaigns and meta ads that are running in support of the DEX launch. These numbers are looking very strong. We're seeing corresponding activity bouncing back to the website. Vitor has provided some recommendations and considerations for some tweaks where we do see some dips in the numbers. So we will be reviewing those after this meeting and making sure that we have everything lined up for tomorrow's 6.0 release of Next. Again, all of this ad campaign activity is driving strong numbers on our website, and this is great. Still, close to 100% of all of the users that are coming to our website right now are new to us, which is a wonderful opportunity to present our message to them and support our products. Yeah, just similar activity on the website, traffic to the website, strong numbers since we started the campaign, and this will continue for the remainder of the campaign. Next slide, Kelly, please. Tomorrow's obviously a huge day. We have lots of activity planned on social media, lots of work planned for sort of doing a slight mini makeover on the website. We will be including a website pop-up for lead generation. Oksana and Dave have worked on a new banner for the website that will replace the current animation. We have some edits to make to the DEX menu on the main menu guide, as well as in the footer. Oksana has been busy editing the user guide to include the use cases that Mo produced last week. And we will be publishing a separate use case document for that. And on late last week, Jonathan produced some videos in support of the launch, and those will be shared today on social media. We continue to publish articles and reaction videos. As mentioned, the user guides for DEX are published as of last week. And in Jonathan's reaction video for last week, he talked about the Central Bank of England contemplating introducing digital currencies and what that has on potential threats to personal freedom and self-sovereignty. I highly recommend it. Short and sweet and really informative, and a real indication of what the considerations are for digital currencies wherever the territory or country. We continue to send up internal and external emails. I know that all of you received the performance program resources email. I encourage you to take a look at it. It has everything you need to get comfortable with the new process for lean management moving forward. Our external emails to the community, whether they are general updates for the week or specific to the DEX launch, continue to pour on an average of 15%. We will continue to tweak these as we go through the ad campaign with more content and adding more value for our community witnesses. On the scene side, Vlad continues to make progress with feature enhancements, and we are still targeting March 3rd for the end of the transition period. There are scenes walkthrough guides available if you need a sort of general entry-level guide from Avalon themselves on how specific user functionality works. Vlad has been busy creating videos to sort of promote and help us spread the word on Scenes launch that's coming up. And those will be posted on Please Play Scenes. Vlad is also producing a user guide for internal members in the community with all the basic functionalities. And I know that we discussed last Friday that Scenes has offered a walkthrough town hall meeting on their side. And I think we're kind of figuring out to make that happen for everyone. So please stay patient. But it continues to evolve, and we're still targeting March 3rd for the transition. I think that is it. Kelly, thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Jonathan, collaboration update, please.
These are the collaboration updates for Peerplays for this past week. Within the standard space, we worked with Government Blockchain Association in decentralized ID and gaming. We've been active in those workshops, and we are working with them to start working with the BMM. That's the blockchain maturity model to gain certain levels of certification so that we'll be able to assess not only Peerplays but other blockchains in relation to the BMM. One of the goals we have is that we'll be able to have Peerplays as one of the blockchains which is certified by the blockchain maturity model, and therefore would be up to standards for Government Blockchain Association, and thereby makes it easier for other organizations to adopt Peerplays. So that's going well. That happened this past week. Within the community space, as Michael was talking about with Avalon Meta, we've had some other follow-up calls with them, and in relation to not just what beyond what just Michael reported in terms of developments, we are starting to look at how we can more deeply integrate with the platform in relation to smart contracts and being able to have it more tightly integrated. So there's some design work that's going on, that's underway with that, and so we'll see more updates on that in the coming future. Dedicated team updates. Yeah, Christina, who was working as our social media manager, is no longer working with us. Unfortunately, due to performance issues, she is no longer on the team. So we are now working on how we might be able to fill that gap. But still in flux because we're in the midst of handling the current launch of the Peerplays DEX. There's we're a little busy with that now, so we'll probably look at the requirements for that in the coming weeks. In terms of other developers that we're looking for. We are looking for a Rust developer, which will be able to help with the future development of Peerplays. This has to do with our future plans with being able to add this new layer that we've talked about with Peerplays. And of course, it operates in Rust, so we need to be able to have somebody on the team who's proficient in that. Where it is so far from candidates we've looked at, there might be somebody who we may be talking about next week even. So look out for that. And those are all the updates as far as the dedicated team updates concerned. So that's my update for this past week.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Okay, questions, comments, thoughts? I've had 3 come in from the community. Jonathan, these 3 are for you. Question 1, why not support a Hive engine liquidity pool / token? What is the reasoning behind not doing one?
So this is about Hive engine, liquidity pools and tokens. There hasn't been any detailed explanation or proposal as to what this would do for Peerplays. So there hasn't been any reasoning on not doing one, simply because it hasn't been discussed in relation to its benefits for Peerplay. So there simply hasn't been any discussion around it. So the answer to this is simply why not support it? Well, there hasn't been any discussion to determine how it benefits Peerplays. If that discussion can take place and it makes sense, then it'll certainly be looked at.
Thank you. Could you give some more insight into the new DEX UI and if there's any new functionality, new coin pairs, ETH support, etc.?
Yeah, so there is one new functionality over the previous interface, and that's its ability to swap between coins or tokens rather than just being able to trade against PPY. This works, the way this works on the back end is it executes a double market transaction under the hood. So this way it's nice and convenient for anyone who wants to trade for, say, Hive to Bitcoin, or maybe Hive back dollars to Bitcoin, or Bitcoin to Hive, and so forth. Now, of course, when the ETH Suns is introduced, which is expected next month, that will also start to introduce the pair with Ethereum, ETH. So the unique advantage of Peerplays DEX in this regard is that all trading pairs that have trading value against PPY all trading pairs that have to have trading value against PPY for price discovery and liquidity. So this helps ensure that there is more liquidity across all markets and keeps quote unquote shitcoins and tokens from filling up the space in using the Peerplays DEX. So I'd say that is probably the best added feature that's being introduced with this new update.
Thank you. Final question for today. Will there be any move towards a Binance Chain Sun or other integration? Why or why not?
Yeah, absolutely. So once Ethereum Suns is introduced, there is the possibility of a Binance Chain Suns, a BSC, Polygon Suns. There could be any other EVM type chains can be introduced, depending though on the demand. Because with every single one, there's significant network requirements to be able to support it. So those that want to see it should rally around finding and voting for Sun operators for each one of these networks to support them. So that's all it's really going to take. So it's up to the community really in terms of demand where that goes. Following the successful implementation of ETH Suns, though, there is a plan as described in the previous town halls, to incorporate the new Peerplays smart contract layer that will utilize what has been created in ETHSense. So that should be interesting in itself. Yeah, to the bottom line is it's going to be completely up to the community and up to the demand of which new chains get integrated.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes today's weekly town hall meeting, February 13th, 2023. Thank you all so much for joining, and I hope you have a great week.